Okay, still in Chapter 7, this is Lesson 3. We're going to review quick what we talked about yesterday and move into something new today. What we've been really working on is understanding multi-digit multiplication and being comfortable with at least one way to multiply multi-digit numbers. So remember, we're going to show you all these different ways, have you practice with these different ways, and then from that you're going to choose one way that works the best for you that you can be successful with. So it's not to overwhelm you. It's just for you to look through them all and figure out which is the best fit for you. All right, so let's talk about what we talked about today in class. So we have the rectangle sections or area model of multiplication, and then we had expanded notation, which was a place value focus on multiplication. Let's talk quickly and review quickly what rectangle sections was about. If, say, we had a two-digit problem like 94 times 36, we're going to take that and break it apart by place value and put it into an area model. So we're going to take 94, and we know that it's 9 tens, which is worth 90, or the value is 90, and 4 ones. So we're going to break up that rectangle between 9 tens and 4 ones. And then on the opposite side, we're going to take 36 and break it up by 30 and 6. So just by place value that way. Reason being that we also know that area of a rectangle is base times height, or we can say length times width, and that's why this way of multiplying works. Once we put it into the rectangle model, then we can start multiplying like a multiplication chart. 30 going this way, 6 going this way, 90 going down, and 4 going down. So in this small rectangle within the larger rectangle, we would take 30 times 90. 3 times 9 is 27. It would be 100 times bigger though, so 2 shifts to the left, so 2,700. Or if that's a struggle for you, seeing 2 zeros in your factor, so 2 zeros in your product. 30 times 4 would be in this rectangle. 3 times 4 is 12. It's 10 times bigger. Shifts to the left once, so 120. In this box, we'd have 90 times 6. 9 times 6 is 54. Although it's not 9, it's 90, so 10 times bigger, so our product is 10 times bigger. And last but not least, in the small rectangle, we have the small factors of 6 times 4, and that is 24. So once we lay it out like that, and we have all these partial products, so 4 different partial products, we move that back into our algorithm. It doesn't matter which way we organize them, greatest to least, least to greatest, or a mixture. We're putting them in order: 120, 540, all those partial products together, and then we're going to add them up. 4, 8, 13, carry the 1, and 3. So 3,384. Also in our head, we're always continuing to do estimation. This is about 90. This is about 40. 9 times 4 is 36. It's 100 times bigger. So 3,600. That's pretty close estimate to what we ended up with our final product. All right, so that is just a brief review of what rectangle sections is, or the area model is, in multiplication. Expanded notation is the same thing, but you're not drawing the area model. You're doing all of that place value in your head. So you're taking 94, you're multiplying it by 36, and what you're going to think about is place value in your head. What digit is this number in? So this is the tens place, and this is the ones place, remembering their value. So when you multiply out, we're going to say 6 times 4, and we just put the full partial product down below, 24. 6 times 9, but it's not 9, it's in the tens place, so it's 90. So 6 times 90 is 540. We've multiplied everything by 6. Now we're going to move over to the next place value. We have 3, but it's not 3, it's worth 3 tens, which is 30. So 30 times 4, 120. And last but not least, 30 times 90, 2,700. Once again, adding those up. And 3,384. So very similar to this once you transfer all of your partial products into the algorithm and then adding them all up. So that was rectangle sections, area model, and expanded notation. I think a few of you were comfortable with expanded notation. A large group of you really understood rectangle sections. I know the comment about rectangle sections is it's a lot of writing for one math problem. So it is a lot of work to do it this way, but remember, if it's the only way that works for you, then that's the one that you want to stick with for a while until you really start getting a handle of multiplication. The nice thing about this is you're just focusing on the basic facts and the basic product, and then either making it 10 times bigger, 100 times bigger in that expanded notation or expanded, your basic facts are expanded. All right, so taking a step from that, now we're going to talk about the two ways that we're going to practice tomorrow. And then we'll keep going back to rectangle sections and keep going back to expanded notation too to make sure that one of those is a comfort zone for you. So in rectangle rows, what you are doing is similar to rectangle sections, but we're not breaking it so much. Both digits or both numbers aren't broken apart by place value. So we're trying to simplify it more so it's not as much writing or not as much work. So let's say again that we have 94 times 36. And we want to multiply that out. In rectangle rows, we're only going to break up one of those numbers. Let me erase that here. We're going to break it up, just one of those numbers. So on the top here, I'm going to keep 94. But on the side, I'm going to break up 36 into 30 and 6, so by place value. And then what I will do from there is now I'm going to multiply this two-digit number 94 times 30, and then underneath I'm going to take 94 times 6. So still focusing somewhat on place value, but now I'm taking it so I'm kind of breaking it down so it's not as much work. So in the top one, any number times 0 is 0, so I'm going to put a 0 down. I know I don't have to multiply 0 times 4 and 0 times 9. They're both 0. So I'm going to put a 0 here in the ones place because all the ones are going to be zeros. Then I'm going to move to the tens place and multiply that 3. Because I'm in the tens place, my product will start in the tens place. So I'm going to say 3 tens times 4. And what I'm going to end up with is 12 tens. That 1 is going to carry to the tens place. Now I'm going to multiply 3 times 9, which is 27, and I'm going to add that other 10 on top, so I have 28. All right, so now I have 2,820. Below that, now I'm going to multiply 94 by just 6. Starting with the ones place, 6 times 4 is 24. 4 is coming down. Going to carry the 2 tens. Then now I will say 6 times 9 is, excuse me, 54. And 54, I'm going to add these 2 other 10s, so 55, 56. Okay, so 56 tens. What I will do now then is I will take both of those partial products and I'm going to move those partial products over here, 2,820. And with that, I'm going to add 564, 4, 8, 13, 3,384. So the same thing that I ended up over here, but I've shortened it by, if you look back over here, by combining my digits 94 instead of multiplying 90 and then 4 times 30. Now I have it all in one spot. And so I've saved some of that work. Same with 94 times 6. So what I just did is instead of multiplying these two and getting two separate partial products, now I've taken 2,700 and that 4 times 30, 120. And I've made them 2,820. Same with down here, the 540 and 24. 540 and 24. I have 564. And that's what I have here, 564 and 2,820. So I got both of that multiplying done in one step so that I didn't have 4 steps. Now I'm down to 2 steps. So one thing that we'll be working on is moving to this portion with rectangle rows. From rectangle rows, what we'll also practice tomorrow and review is the way that probably your parents, when you talk to your parents about multiplication, the way and only way that they were ever taught how to do it. And what that way is the shortcut method. And in the shortcut method, what we are doing is we're still focusing on place value, and we should understand what's happening, but we're combining it all in one step so we don't have these separate extra steps that are happening on the side. So we're going to take 94 times 36, and we're going to multiply starting with the ones place, and we're going to start with the 6. Okay. So we're going to say 6 ones times, excuse me, 4 ones is 24 ones. So the 4 stays, and what we're going to do is we're going to carry the 2 to the next place value because that's 2 tens, and so it's going up into the tens place. Now we're going to take 6, and we're going to multiply 6 by 9 tens. So 6 times 9 tens is 54 tens. But we're also going to add to that the 2 tens that we put on top. So we have 54 plus 2 would be 56 tens. So the 50 tens turns into hundreds, 500s, 564. We will now start multiplying. Since we've finished with the 6, now we're going to start with the 3. Because the 3 starts in the tens place, our product needs to start in the tens place. It needs to. Our product needs to shift over. It needs to start right underneath the 6. Well, we don't want to forget about the ones place, and so what we need to do is call it annex a 0 or put a 0 in the ones place to hold that place value, just like when you guys were modeling in the classroom what happens when we shift. So now we'll start with 3 tens, and 3 tens times 4 ones is 12 tens. So put the 2 tens down, and we're going to carry. And sometimes at this point, what a lot of kids like to do is either cross out that 2 because we've already dealt with it, or you can erase it and then put the 1 on top. Now we have 3 tens times 9 tens, and that's going to give us 27 hundreds plus 1 more will give us 28 hundreds. Excuse me. So now we have those 2 products, and what we're going to do is or these 2 partial products, smaller. We didn't draw the picture, we just did it all right here, and now we're going to add it up. 4, 6 plus 2 tens is 8 tens. 5 plus 8 hundreds is 13 hundreds. Carry the 1. 1,000 plus 2,000 is 3,000. 3,384. So that's the shortcut method of multiplication. Excuse me. So each of these 4 ways, if you look, 3,384. 3,384. We have 3,384 and 3,384. 4 different ways that we have multiplied so far, and each of the 4 ways we've ended up with the same product at the end. So like I said before, with all of these different things that we're doing, the goal is for you to pick one way that's going to work eventually, and that's going to be the one that you stick with. That's going to make you successful, because it doesn't matter how you get there. It's just a matter of making sure that you get there. Thank you for watching the video. I will see you tomorrow. Have a good night.